flights and business aviation and all to a different world, to the World Food Program, an organization which consider the biggest organization worldwide fighting hunger, and at the same time, the biggest logistic organization in the world, currently, of course. I will leave you now with a video will explain the mandate of our organization. So just a few minutes and I will continue later.
In today's increasingly globalized world, logistics, now more than ever, is key to a company's success. But no one relies more on logistics than the World Food Program, because lives depend on it. Every 5 seconds, a child dies of hunger. That's 18,000 a day, all day, every day. The cruel irony is that there is enough food for everyone. The challenge is getting it to those that need it. It's largely a matter of logistics. The World Food Program is the world's largest humanitarian aid organization and the United Nations Frontline Relief Agency. Every year, WFP Logistics races against the clock to bring help when disaster strikes. From the mountains of Kashmir, across the Sahara Desert, or into the jungles of Central America. With over 2,000 employees worldwide, with unrivaled local knowledge, operating 30 ships, 3,000 trucks, and 100 aircraft every day. We are the recognized leader of logistics for the entire humanitarian community. We deliver over 5 million tons of aid every year, using innovative supply chain solutions. Our supply chain begins by procuring and receiving aid from governments and donors. The cargo is then shipped over thousands of miles, using every means possible to reach its destination. If warehouses don't exist, WFP Logistics builds them. If airstrips and bridges have been destroyed, we rebuild them. If roads are laced with mines, we demine them. And if railways and ports are damaged, we rehabilitate them. Nothing stops WFP Logistics from delivering aid. We manage a network of emergency response depots strategically located across the globe. We work closely with governments, other humanitarian actors, and build partnerships with the private sector to ensure our ability to respond against the odds. In the tsunami emergency, WFP Logistics led the relief effort, airlifting and trucking thousands of tons of aid into 6 devastated countries, constructing over 60 warehouses and coordinating one of the most complex humanitarian operations in history. In 2003, we undertook the largest humanitarian operation ever, providing food aid to the entire population of Iraq, 27 million people in all. This meant hauling some 500,000 metric tons of food every month. In this race against time, across rough and hostile terrain, through some of the world's most inaccessible and dangerous spots, WFP Logistics is bringing relief to those who need it most. Because every second that goes by can be the difference between life and death. At WFP Logistics, success is not only measured by metric tons moved or reductions in cost, but by lives saved.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we are doing. Okay, just to give you an overview of WFP, is the largest humanitarian agency fighting hunger worldwide. And it exists and funded entirely by voluntary donations from government, from private sectors, from whatever. At WFP Logistics, and also the organization recognized to be the biggest logistic organization, has food procurement for 2.8, and this number is increased to 4 million metric ton. And you know, and also the number is not very, because this statistics is a little bit old, 1.4 billion food procured in 78 developing countries. Currently, we are feeding 90 million people, mostly in Africa and Asia, and also in South America. We have ocean transport, 40 ships on high seas at any given time, 127 chartered ships, and 1,583 liner shipments. Air transport, more than 50 aircraft currently, but this number it is in a normal operations. In a crisis, an emergency, this number can be you know, triple or double or triple, or even sometimes 4 times this number. And you know, many examples, like in the tsunami, or in you know, Pakistan earthquake, or in Haiti, we were operating 200 or even more than 200 aircraft. Also, we have 5,000 trucks every day. Many people ask me, you know, what is the relation between WFP and aviation, and why we have aviation safety unit, why we have aviation personnel in there. But this is tells you that, you know, WFP, we are the right hand for WFP Logistics. When the disaster happened, you know, the fastest way to reach beneficiaries is, the aircraft. So also we are managing the United Nations Humanitarian Air Service, which is the brand name of World Food Program Aviation. And we are doing the humanitarian air service on behalf of the entire United Nations. So any organization, under the umbrella of the United Nations, if needs any air assets, so they should contact World Food Program to do the business for them. We have our, of course, United Nations Common Aviation Safety Standard, because our operation is totally different than we are operating in difficult, hostile, remote areas. So we need, aviation standard, different, but it's under ICAO guidelines. Also, we have, ICAO audits WFP on a regular basis. You can see here, WFP respond in emergency. So 72% of our operations is, emergencies. We respond in man-made disasters and natural disasters, conflict and war and, other natural disasters. While 28% of our operation is regular programs, but the core of WFP operation is providing logistic support necessary to get food aid to the right people at the right time and in the right place, which is sometimes very, very difficult. Who do we transport? Humanitarian aids, United Nations personnel, NGOs, take them and, to the remote areas, as you can see. What do we transport? Different, food and non-food items. And where do we operate? Those places, you know, you see in Nepal, in very remote areas, in Pakistan, in the desert, in Darfur, in Africa, in Haiti, in different difficult and hostile places. This is, of course, you know, current operation, but this is a little bit old. We have increased our operation in, you know, West Africa as well. Although, you know, we are doing a lot of flights in a very hostile, difficult, and remote areas, but we need aviation safety to manage the risk, to mitigate the risk as much as we can. So we create aviation safety unit in 2003, and this has come after the recommendation from ICAO. If we will talk about hunger information, I will, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I will want to let you know that now it is more than 870 million people in the world do not eat enough to be healthy. That is 1 in 8. In developing countries, third of child death are linked to the hunger. It costs only 25 US cents per day to give a child all food needed to grow healthy. 66 million children in the world go to the school without food. This is numbers, and the numbers increase because the food, you know, is the need to the food is increased, you know, due to many reasons: changing climate, the food prices, and so by 2050, climate change